Before I learned LaTeX, I was naturally using the Canvas equation editor, which worked but never felt quite right. I even began to not want to show my work due to the Canvas equation editor. There's also the constantly weird formatting of the bold equation letters and numbers contrasting with the normal text that I can never really be satisfied writing anything of length at all. Now enter LaTeX, and using a full-fledged LaTeX editor. LaTeX is kind of like a simple formatting language like HTML with a lot of support for math equations. But to be honest, that description makes it sound really difficult, and it honestly isn't once you just try it out for the first time. I picked it up about 3 weeks ago, and while I'm still learning, there are two things that I really like about it. One is the simple and elegant formatting of equations, and the other is the ability to copy and paste from Desmos. First of all is the formatting. What I like about LaTeX is that you have the ability to easily add inner text before equations in a very simple manner, and the ability to create equations that look and align better and with less effort than Canvas. Second is Desmos copy-paste. You can almost solve a problem with Desmos copy-paste while showing your steps faster than if you were writing it out on paper. Using the LaTeX editor, it's fast and snappy, removing the need for waiting dozens of seconds for the Canvas GUI to load. Now I'll show you how easy it is to create a LaTeX doc and also embed it into Canvas within 3 minutes. First of all, start up a LaTeX equation editor. I'm using Visual Studio Code because I like Vim bindings, but Overleaf is an online equation editor that works just as well with absolutely no setup. So let's first make a new doc. Every single document has to have a setup of sorts. It's known as the preamble, and none of the preamble that you write is really visible. In my opinion, you don't need to memorize the preamble at all because you can do a similar setup for future documents that you create. Just know in general what the functions do and what you can do with them. First is document class. This is required in every LaTeX document and defines a couple of things like font size, paper size, and type of document. For me, I like to use letter paper, 12-point font, and article, but this is just personal preference. Next are two packages that you must include in order to write math equations. Use package AMS Math and use package AMS Sim. As you can probably guess, these include symbols and characters that you might need in an equation. At this point, we can begin writing the body of the LaTeX, what is actually displayed. Write begin document and end document. Begin and end are key functions that are present in a lot of things in LaTeX, and they're pretty intuitive to use, so you might want to remember them. Now we can type some text and begin to finally compile the PDF for the first time. Now let's create a section and title it prompt. These are kind of like headings you can use to organize your paper, so you might want to begin with something like section prompt, what is 1 plus 1? To skip to a new line while we're only writing text, use /pair. For example, hint, it's not 3. Now let's make another section titled solution and compile. As you can see, it's pretty plain and simple, but here's where the fun starts. So in LaTeX, any equation that you make or things that have to do with numbers have to be defined as such. And there are many ways to do it. One way is if you want equations inline, you can surround your text with $signs. For example, I began solving 1 plus 1 by thinking hard about it, like so. Now if you want an equation in a new line and centered, you can surround it with $signs or begin equation, like so. Now, how do you actually write a math equation in LaTeX? Again, math equations aren't really that important because you can do them in Desmos, but it might be better to be familiar with the basics. So add is plus, subtraction is minus, equals is equals, power is power, and parentheses is parentheses. And they're all pretty intuitive to use. But your regular times and divide don't really work out. Let's try it out now. As you can see, we get star and slash, which we don't want. It turns out that times is times or C dot, and division is frac most of the time or divide, like so. As you can see, writing equations is pretty good, but it required some setup and the equations aren't aligned. What if you wanted to combine everything that we've done into one thing? Well, there's this function called /begin align, and this makes it so that and signs align multiple equations within different lines, like so. As you can see, there are also two new symbols that we use here, \twice and and. And it turns out that these are the only two things that you need to do manually aside from copy-paste Desmos. \twice adds a line between equations, and formats other equations in different lines within the same align functions to the add point. Inner text is a way of commentating on processes while in an equation. We just insert them in between equations like so, and we can write whatever we want in the text box. Now let's compile. And that's it. You can now make a good looking doc with no effort, much faster than on Canvas. Here's me solving an integral with Desmos copy-paste in the line equation. Lastly, I like to remind you to Google everything, like how to do integral notations and other symbols, because they're 15-second searches that take little to no effort. Now, the doc is good, but it still might be a little plain. But below I have a GitHub link to a fully commentated LaTeX file that includes some more formatting and features like images, cleaner formatting, and headers and footers that again only took a few minutes of Google search to find out. Now say that you have your PDF and want to submit to Canvas. What now? First, open up your Google Drive and upload the PDF. Then open the PDF and click the three dots in the top right corner and select Open in New Window. Then in the new window, click on the three dots in the top right corner again. This time you should see the Embed button. Before you click this button, let's first go to the sharing options, slightly above that option. Change this permission to a level that other people are going to be viewing it as, like anyone in the internet. Otherwise, people will not be able to see the embedded file. Now go back and click on the Embed button, copy the text. Go to the Canvas text box, and finally, click on Insert/Add Media. Click on the embed code and paste it there. Now before I hit Insert, I like to make one modification to this. The iframe automatically resizes down but doesn't resize up. Because of this, I like to raise this height and width up, maintaining the 4:3 ratio to 800 and 600. Now click Insert and it should pop up. Thank you for watching my video. I hope that you learned something new and you stop using the Canvas equation editor, which is really slow and cancer to use. Make sure to subscribe, like, and leave a comment. Thank you very much. The next upload is in 2 years.